Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and today I have a really cool shoe for you guys, and this is the Li-Ning Shuai 13 Premium. This has to be one of my favorite silhouettes, or I guess best looking shoe in my opinion, I guess for the past year, and a lot of you guys agree as well. A lot of you guys think it looks dope, and it looks pretty similar to the Kobe 9, and the Kobe 9 was a great looking shoe. As far as the price goes, shout out to Mike Lee Basketball. He found out what the price was. Well, I guess it was available at a third-party retailer, and I think it was like It was called High Basketball Shoes or something. It's like a Chinese retailer site, and they were selling for 350 bucks, which is pretty damn expensive, or that's really ridiculously expensive. But I'm not sure if that's the actual retail price. Just keep in mind this is going to be a pretty up there shoe as far as price goes. So let's get it started off with the traction. So as far as the traction goes, we got some circles. It's fully translucent in this colorway. So on a clean court, it has a really good bite. It has a very nice squeak to it, and I had no problems with it when I was having some good days on the court. When it was clean, I did not have to worry about the traction at all. But dust is very susceptible to picking up a good amount of dust actually. Even when I did wipe, it's a pretty easy wipe, but like it just never really seemed to get as good of a bite as when I was playing on a clean court, Like usually in most shoes, when you're playing on a dusty court, you just give it a good wipe and the stop is just as good as, if you're playing on a clean court and then it picks up dust again and then you have to wipe again, But in this shoe, it never really seemed to get as good, even when I wiped. So, I mean, it was still a good bite, but it wasn't as good and hard of a bite as, when I was playing on a clean court. So, that was kind of a bummer. And also, if you let too much dust build up, just be careful. I did experience some sliding out. Not super dangerous, but it can get a little dangerous. Just keep in mind that you're going to need to frequently wipe. Performance on dust wasn't the best. I was a little disappointed in that. As far as the durability goes, durability seems okay. As far as the lines go, it's a pretty hard rubber. So, I feel like durability on the outdoor court should be okay. I don't really have any, fraying or anything. I do have a lot of yellowing though. I don't know if you guys can see. That's one thing that I really don't like about translucent outsoles, is that it yellows. If you're playing on a clean court, you're good to go. Dust, you're gonna need to wipe a lot, and you're just not gonna get a great bite. So if you're playing on a dusty court and you know where you're playing, I would probably stay away from this shoe. Alright, as far as the heel to toe transition goes, heel to toe transition is pretty damn smooth. You have a nice curve shape here in the heel, you have a nice heel compression, and you can flex the shoe pretty easily here in the forefoot, and you have a nice curve shape here in the forefoot as well. So heel to toe transition is very smooth. I like it. It doesn't feel like a boot or anything. Like in the Kobe 9, it was just straight up rubber. It's that rubber and that carbon fiber and all that, so it felt a little clunky, But anyways, as far as the cushion goes, the cushion they're using, I'm not sure if it's a new technology, but they're using what they're calling boom cushion, and it's boom, it's explosive. It's very nice. It has to be one of my favorite cushion setups in any shoe, I guess, of recent history. If you're looking at it, it reminds me a lot of, I guess, a Crazy Explosive line. Like how Adidas, they give you boost, a full length boost, and then they cage it up a lot here on the lateral side. It kind of reminds me of that, but it doesn't feel anything like the Crazy Explosive. It feels a lot softer. And I don't know if it has anything to do with, I guess, the strobe board in the Adidas shoes, because it doesn't compress as much inside of the shoe as this shoe. The Shuai 13 Premium, it literally feels like a pillow or a marshmallow or a cloud or something inside of the shoe. Impact protection is really good. Good amount of compression, even though there's still a lot of caging on the shoe. It still, compresses a lot. Has a little bit of bounce, I would say it's a lot more bouncy than Boost, but definitely not as bouncy as other cushion setups like, I guess, Zoom or Fuel Cell or something like that. I would say it's a little bit softer than those, but it still has a nice little subtle bounce to it. Court feel is still okay, not the best shoe for court feel, but also it's not horrible. And just look at how thick this cushion is, especially here in the heel. Overall, it's an incredible cushion setup. The one thing I would say I would like to see improved is, I guess, court feel. but you know, it's not a huge deal because of what you're getting. Like everything else you're getting as far as like impact protection, bounce, compression, and all that, I feel like is a pretty good trade-off, because you know, court feel is still moderately good in this shoe. Alright, moving on to the materials. So the materials, they're using a full-on knit. I believe they called it like a dual layer knit, and it's very, very thick, you know? So I feel like it's a little too thick for my taste, and it's a little stiff as well. So as far as the thickness goes, it reminds me of like the LeBron 17. You know, that's how thick it is, but it's definitely not as soft as the LeBron 17. You know, it gets soft, and it gets softer once you break it in, but it's still a little stiffer, or a good amount stiffer than LeBron 17. And I feel like that has a little bit to do with glue. They probably glued it down a little bit. There's probably a little bit of fuse underneath this upper and all that. To be honest, I would have liked it to be a little bit more minimal as far as the materials go, and a little bit softer. But you know, other than that, it's still pretty damn nice. And I also really like this inner booty tongue, and it's more like this neoprene upper, so it kind of stretches over your foot as well. That feels nice. You have rope laces and all that. The materials, very premium, but one thing is I would have liked it to be a little bit thinner and a little bit softer. But if you're looking for support and you don't really care about that, then this is a great material choice. Alright, as far as the fit goes, go down half a size. You know, it runs a little bit long, and also it runs a little bit roomy, you know, which I don't really like, but you know, it's a knit material, you know, and knit materials and mesh materials, they all stretch out, especially, you know, once you break it in, it stretches out a good amount compared to like synthetics or like leather materials. So if you're going to do a knit material, you can get away with making the shoe a little bit more snug, a little bit tighter of a fit. And that's something that wasn't incredible for me. You know, it was still a okay fit. Like, it wasn't crazy dead space in the toe or like in the midfoot area or anything. But, you know, I would have liked it to be a little bit more snug. But that's just my personal opinion. If you like to have the shoe or the fit in your shoe a little bit more loose, you know, then this is a great option for you. And as far as the width goes, I would say it's around normal. You know, it's not super wide, it's not super narrow. Obviously, another thing about the shoe is it's a high. It's very, very high. And one thing I don't like about high tops is that it's hard to put on. And as far as support and lockdown goes, incredible. This lateral caging does come up here a lot to cage you for lateral movement. So lateral containment, I was just locked in. My foot was not going anywhere. Material is supportive and all that. This shoe is super wide as well. So you're going to be laterally stable. And this shoe is a high. So one thing that did happen to me while I was playing this is I stepped on someone's foot. And obviously when you're coming down from getting a rebound or, you know, shooting a shot or something, and you step on someone's foot, you're going to roll your ankle. And there's nothing you can do about it. If you're wearing a high top or a low top or ankle brace or something, you're gonna roll your ankle. But the amount of damage that's done can be varied. So if I was wearing a low top shoe while I was, you know, playing that day, I would have rolled it really, really bad and probably would have been a pretty bad ankle sprain. But because I was wearing this high top, I fell and then I felt my ankle roll. And I was like, oh, that's not good. But then I was like, wait, this hurts, but it doesn't hurt like crazy, you know, or like what I've experienced when I had really bad ankle sprains. And I was able to walk and my ankle wasn't swollen or anything. So ankle support in this shoe is really good. So I'm very happy that I was wearing the shoe that day. So supporting lockdown, really, really good in the shoe. Alright, as far as the weight goes, it's 13.76 ounces. That's pretty damn heavy. You know, my normal or average weight for my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. The cushion is pretty high up, especially here in the heel area. And the material is not the most minimal feeling material ever. So it's definitely not a minimal and light feeling shoe, but it's definitely not super heavy and not super bulky. So it's a nice medium, and also it's a really responsive shoe. You know, support's there, cushion's responsive, traction's really good on a clean court. For step-in comfort and just casually walking around this shoe, really, really comfortable. This boom cushion feels like you're walking on clouds. You know, casual use, very nice. As far as ventilation goes, pretty damn hot. This thick ass knit doesn't really help with, you know, ventilation and airflow, so just watch out for that. Your foot's probably going to be a little warm in this. As far as durability goes, durability seems good. This shoe seems really well made. You know, they're using high quality materials. You know, there's this carbon fiber midfoot shank. The rubber outsole seems durable. This material seems very durable as well, especially with how thick it is. It seems like it's going to last a long time. As far as the aesthetics go, this shoe is incredible. This colorway is super dope. There's also another colorway that came out. It's like a triple white, and there are some red strands in the upper. It's just a really clean colorway. But I'm glad I got this colorway because, you know, white colorways, you know, they get really dirty, especially if you ball in them. So anyways, wrapping things up, if this shoe is truly 350 bucks, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know if any shoes ever worth 350 bucks. Even if it was 200 bucks, that's still up there. But the performance is really nice. To start off New Year 2020, this shoe really held its own, and I was very impressed with it. And just the craftsmanship, just the materials that they put into this shoe and tech that they put into this shoe is incredible. And I feel like most people will enjoy playing this. There are a few things I would change though. I mean, I would make the fit a little bit tighter. You know, just for me personally, I like to have a tighter fit, especially with this knit. Knits do stretch out like I said. And I wish the traction was a little bit better on dust. And also, I maybe make the shoe a little bit lighter and a little bit more minimal. But then, you know, that wasn't a huge deal. So yeah, incredible performer, and I enjoyed playing this a lot. So that's my review of the Li-Ning Shuai 13 Premium. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next one.